Salutations and welcome to Kirby Plays Games. Tips for the total noob or absolute beginner in 7 Days to Die. In this video, I will be going over some things that may not be immediately apparent to brand new players, especially those just starting out in the survival crafting genre. So if you are new to 7 Days to Die or are just starting out, this might save you some frustration and some time Googling. This guide is meant for those on PC and probably won't be as helpful for console, but some of it may be applicable, so stick around. Tip number 1. Don't punch zombies, especially not with bare hands. But even with knuckle wraps or steel knuckles, this is probably not a great idea when you are first starting out. It is possible to box a zombie successfully in 7 Days to Die, but this requires experience and appropriate skill point spending. Otherwise, the math is not on your side, and if you just trade blows with a zombie, you significantly increase your chances of getting infected. And that brings us to tip number 2, which is honey cures 5% infection. If you are just starting out, chances are you will get hit a bunch, and you might get infected. This will show up as a biohazard symbol with a percentage in the bottom left corner of your screen, and this percentage will increase until you die. This number can be lowered with antibiotics, but these are often difficult to find early game, so another option is to consume honey, which cures 5% infection over time. Honey can be acquired by hitting and destroying tree stumps with an axe. Not every stump will give you honey, so some luck is needed here, as with antibiotics. Tip number 3, you start in a safe zone. This one is pretty straightforward. Your immediate starting area is relatively zombie free. This does not last forever, but as long as you don't wander too far away, this will give you some time to gather supplies and craft basic tools and weapons. This area does not typically include buildings, so be careful about immediately wandering into points of interest or structures, even if they are very close to your spawn point. Tip number 4, do the starter quest. Not only does this give you a bit of a tutorial, but it also sets you up with some good starter items, and upon completing the first few tasks, you will be given the location of the closest NPC trader, who is a valuable asset in this game. Additionally, upon finishing the quests, you gain some free starter skill points as well, so good bonus there. Tip number 5, initial resource gathering. First thing you're going to want to do in 7 days is punch tufts of grass for plant fiber. This is going to be useful for crafting clothes as well as crafting a sleeping bag. Punch trees for wood. Press E to pick up stones. Use these 3 materials, plant fiber, wood, and stones, to make a stone axe. Then use the stone axe to get more wood from trees. The axe will also let you harvest stone from large rocks. To get clay, craft a shovel and dig up some ground. And when you are first starting out, make sure to check birds' nests for feathers with the E button, which you will need with wood and stone to craft arrows. Tip number 6, some combat basics. Bows are your friend early game because you can keep your distance and pull off stealth shots. This is done by pressing Ctrl to toggle crouch and hitting the zombie before it notices you, which will prompt a bonus damage indicator. Use this early on to minimize your risk. To load an arrow into your bow when it is equipped, press R. Holding R brings up an ammo selection wheel, which will be useful later on. If zombies do get in close, then the club is good for staggering them and sometimes even knocking them down, which helps you to avoid getting hit. In every situation, aim for the head. This causes more damage and gives you a chance to immediately neutralize your target. Also, keep bandages in your hotbar and be ready to use them if you are bleeding, an effect which quickly drains your health and is resolved by the application of a bandage. Finally, tip number 7, find shelter by nightfall. Much like Minecraft, it is not a great idea to spend your first night outside. The sun will always set at 2200 hours, and at this point the zombie speed increases significantly, and unique zombie spawns may appear outside. This is why it is best to try and find somewhere to bunker down for your first night. It doesn't have to be a forever home, but it should be somewhere relatively secure to avoid nosy zombies wandering through. One approach is to clear out a small house or building and claim it as your own. By putting down a sleeping bag and or your claim block, you prevent zombie spawns in a certain radius, which usually stops them from spawning in your home or right beside it. Campfires and torches do attract zombies, but if you have a secure structure, you should be relatively safe. Additionally, some buildings have prefabricated light sources which will not attract the zombies and can help you keep your home lit. Army camps and military bases might look like a good starter option, but they are loaded with tough zombies and very sneaky landmines. So probably a difficult starter option. The topic of securing shelter for the night could definitely be its own video, so we won't go too deep here. But let me know if you want more info on that, and I might post it as a future video. And a quick bonus for those of you that stuck around. Do you feel like every spot you check out is full of nasty zombies? Well, some small structures do not have any zombies at all. These could be ruined buildings, shanty houses, or any sort of small, generic, and generally unimpressive looking structure. These can sometimes be useful as temporary shelters, but are mainly an easy way to get some decent early game loot. Be careful though, because you never know if there might be a couple sleeping zombies around. And that's all, folks. Thank you to everyone who has taken the time to subscribe. Thanks for checking out this video, and if you enjoyed it, why not check out some of my other gaming videos? Maybe even subscribe if you have not already. Either way, thank you again, and have an excellent day.